President Trump says the clock is ticking for Iran to negotiate a deal as fighting continues in the Middle East. Fox News correspondent Connor Hansen has more.
While Israel and Iran continue to trade blows, there is a last-ditch effort for diplomacy. After a day of meetings in Switzerland, Iran's foreign minister and European counterparts have not made a breakthrough. Iran says it won't meet with the U.S. unless Israel stops its airstrikes.
Iran is ready to consider diplomacy once again, and once aggression is stopped and the aggressor is held accountable for the crimes committed.
European officials urged Iran to agree to dismantle its nuclear capabilities.
It's important they get back into serious talks with the United States.
President Trump has given up to 2 weeks for talks to go on before the U.S. could join the fight against the Islamic Republic. He did not seem open to asking Israel to stop.
Well, I think it's very hard to make that request right now. If somebody's winning, it's a little bit harder to do than if somebody's losing. But we're ready, willing, and able, and we've been speaking to Iran, and we'll see what happens.
While Iran insists its nuclear program is peaceful, President Trump and Israel say they were weeks away from a nuclear weapon. And Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is showing no signs of slowing down his campaign.
As long as it takes, because we face an existential danger, a dual existential danger. One from 20,000 such rockets, and the other is, of course, atomic bombs in the hands of this mad regime.
Diplomats meeting in Geneva say they do plan to keep the dialogue going. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
New developments in the case of former Columbia University student Mahmood Khalil. He has been released from detention in Louisiana after 104 days in custody. A federal judge ruled Khalil is not a flight risk and is not a danger to the community, and that the Trump administration did not meet the standards for keeping him detained. Khalil will be allowed to return to his wife and newborn son in New York. He's been jailed since March on allegations he lied on his green card application. Khalil took part in pro-Palestinian protests on the Columbia University campus last year. His lawyers argued he was prevented from exercising his free speech and due process rights. Vice President JD Vance was in California yesterday as tensions continue to simmer over ICE raids. He spent time touring a federal joint operations center. Vance, a Marine veteran, also met with members of the armed forces as part of his visit. He commented on the state of the U.S. border and criticized California Democrats for their efforts to fight against the Trump administration's immigration policy.
The law enforcement officials themselves tell me as much, that when they go out, let's say you have a Border Patrol official who needs to go out and arrest somebody, maybe a violent criminal who's also an illegal alien. When that Border Patrol agent goes out to do their job, they said within 15 minutes of them trying to do their job, they have protesters, sometimes violent protesters, who are in their face, obstructing them, preventing them from doing their job, and endangering their lives.
And his visit comes one day after a federal appeals court ruled that President Trump could keep National Guard troops in Los Angeles in an effort to calm protests against his deportation plans.